Gaslighting. Gaslighting is a tactic where someone manipulates you into doubting your own reality or memories. They might deny things they said or did, making you question your perception of events. Over time, this can make you feel confused and unsure of what's true. Guilt tripping. Guilt tripping involves making someone feel guilty or responsible for something they didn't do or have no control over. The manipulator might use phrases like, "after everything I've done for you," to make you feel bad and comply with their wishes. Love bombing. Love bombing is when someone showers you with excessive affection, flattery, and attention to gain control over you. This intense affection can make you feel special, but it's often followed by manipulative behavior once they have you hooked. Silent treatment. The silent treatment is when someone refuses to communicate with you as a form of punishment. This tactic is used to control you by making you feel ignored or unworthy of a response, causing emotional distress. Triangulation. Triangulation is when a manipulator brings a third person into your relationship to create conflict, control you, or divide you from others. For example, they might compare you to someone else or use another person's opinions to validate their point. Blame shifting. Blame shifting is when a manipulator refuses to take responsibility for their actions and instead blames you for what went wrong. They might say, "It's your fault I'm upset," or "You made me do this," turning the focus away from their behavior. Projection. Projection occurs when someone accuses you of the very behaviors or feelings they are guilty of. For instance, if they are lying, they might accuse you of being dishonest. It's a way for them to avoid confronting their own flaws. Flattery. Flattery involves giving excessive compliments to manipulate someone into liking or trusting them. While compliments are normal, flattery is over the top and often insincere, designed to influence your opinions or actions. Playing the victim. In this tactic, the manipulator acts as though they are always the victim, even when they're not. By portraying themselves as helpless or wronged, they gain sympathy and avoid taking responsibility for their actions. Emotional blackmail. Emotional blackmail is when someone uses your emotions against you to get what they want. They might say, "If you really love me, you would do this," making you feel obligated to comply out of fear of losing their love or approval. Passive aggression. Passive aggression is when someone expresses anger or resentment indirectly instead of openly. They might agree to do something, but then deliberately do it poorly or not at all. This tactic allows them to express displeasure without directly confronting the issue. Smear campaign. A smear campaign involves spreading false or exaggerated information about someone to damage their reputation. The manipulator uses this tactic to discredit you and turn others against you, often to isolate you or maintain control. Reverse psychology. Reverse psychology is when someone suggests the opposite of what they really want, hoping you'll do what they actually desire. For example, they might say, "I bet you can't finish this task," knowing that the challenge will make you want to prove them wrong. Fear-mongering. Fear-mongering is when someone tries to scare you into doing something by exaggerating potential dangers or consequences. They use fear to control your decisions, often making situations seem more dangerous than they really are. Pity play. The pity play is when someone tries to gain your sympathy by portraying themselves as a victim or as someone in need. They might exaggerate their hardships to get you to feel sorry for them and do what they want. Future faking. Future faking is when someone makes promises about a future that they have no intention of fulfilling. They might say, "I promise we'll do this next month," to keep you hopeful and invested in the relationship, even though they never plan to follow through. Insincere apologies. An insincere apology is when someone apologizes without actually taking responsibility for their actions. They might say, "I'm sorry you feel that way," which shifts the blame to you instead of acknowledging their wrongdoing. Stonewalling. Stonewalling is when someone refuses to engage in a conversation or answer your questions. They might ignore you, change the subject, or walk away, leaving you feeling frustrated and powerless in the situation. Mirroring. Mirroring is when someone imitates your behavior, preferences, or opinions to create a sense of connection. While this can be harmless, it can also be used manipulatively to make you feel like you have more in common with them than you actually do. Denial. Denial is when someone refuses to acknowledge reality or facts, often to avoid responsibility. They might outright deny something that happened, making you doubt your own perception or feel like you're going crazy. Understanding these manipulation tactics can help you recognize when someone is trying to control or influence you in an unhealthy way. By being aware of these behaviors, you can set boundaries, protect yourself, and maintain healthier relationships.